Hello students, how are you all? So, welcome to our YouTube channel Innovative Chemistry, and I am very much happy that you are sending me very inspiring and encouraging comments. So I am very much happy that you are learning with all these videos you are learning, and all my videos are very helpful for you. So thanks for your lovely and inspirational comments that you have sent to me. So, in today's video, we are going to perform the test of ammonium radical. So, the test of ammonium ion. So, ammonium radical is a zero group radical and its group reagent is sodium hydroxide. So, for this test, first of all, we required one ammonium substance. So, here we have taken ammonium chloride as a salt. So, I am just keeping it here, and as a group reagent we required sodium hydroxide. So sodium hydroxide is a solid substance, it comes in the form of pellets. So I already prepared the solution of sodium hydroxide for you. So you can also prepare this solution by your own by mixing 1 gram of sodium hydroxide into 100 ml of water. By doing so, you prepare dilute solution of sodium hydroxide, and this sodium hydroxide solution we use as a group reagent. For its confirmatory test, we need Nessler's reagent. This is very important, and this is used for the confirmation test of ammonium ion. And for the normal test, not the confirmatory test, but for the normal test, we need concentrated hydrochloric acid, concentrated HCl, and red litmus. So this is our red litmus. You can see it's in the, actually its color is pink. This is red litmus, and except red litmus, you can also take pH paper. So we will use here, I'll show you both the test with both the papers, red litmus and the pH paper. This is our pH paper and this is our red litmus. Its name is red litmus, but its color is actually pink. So don't get confused. This orange one is pH paper and this is red litmus. And on this pH paper, if you see little close, I am just closing to the camera. You can see on this pH paper there are many lines are there, many shades are there. So these shades indicate whether the substance is it acidic or substance is it basic. So this thing used for both acidic as well as basic substances. So without any delay, let's perform our test. So first of all, I need one test tube. So always remember, when you take the test tube, its upper brim should be intact. There is no any crack or breakage on the upper brim of the test tube. So I am holding this test tube with my test tube holder. So my test tube holder is set and this test tube is ready to use. Now, this is my salt. This is ammonium chloride salt. So first of all, I am taking a small sample of ammonium chloride into the test tube. Now you can see here in the test tube, I have taken a small sample of ammonium chloride. Now I kept the box, and always remember you should keep the box because no any contamination goes down to the box. So my test tube is ready to use. Now after this, I am going to mix its group reagent, and its group reagent, as I told you, this is sodium hydroxide, and the formula of sodium hydroxide you all know, this is NaOH. I tilt this test tube and introducing sodium hydroxide into the test tube. As you all know that at the initial state we pour little and then we increase the amount of the reagent. So I have taken sufficient amount of sodium hydroxide into the test tube. So my ammonium salt, that is the ammonium chloride, and group reagent sodium hydroxide is in the test tube. At normal temperature, no any reaction takes place. Why? Because this reaction won't proceed at normal temperature. So for proceeding the reaction, we need to heat this test tube. But before heating, I am taking one strip of red litmus. So you can see this is the red litmus I have taken and I am keeping it here. And this is the another strip I am taking from the pH paper. This is the pH paper. Both the strips are here with me. Uh, Orange color strip is the pH paper and this pink color is the red litmus. So I am keeping both the strips over here. Now my test tube is ready. Let's perform this test. So first of all, I am heating it and I am keeping my litmus paper on the mouth of test tube. So I am keeping the litmus paper on the mouth of test tube. As I heat it, some gas will evolve and this gas is colorless. If you inhale it somehow, so its odor is little pungent, but this gas is easily diffuse in the environment, diffuse in the air. So that's why it's difficult for you to inhale this gas like this or take the essence of this gas like that. Don't inhale like that under your nostrils. It will be very, very dangerous. So for that, we need to do the test, and for this test we use this pH paper. So I am just hitting the test tube and I am keeping the pH paper. Now you can see the color of pH paper is totally changed. You can see the color of pH paper is blue. So this blue color indicates that this gas is basic in nature. This is our normal paper. Now here you can see a small bluish color is coming. So this small bluish color represent that this gas is basic in nature. Not only with pH paper, we will perform this test also with the red litmus. So here I am having red litmus. I am hitting my test tube again, and while hitting I am putting the pH paper on the mouth of test tube, and you can see here my pH paper turns blue. So the portion of my pH paper turns blue. And one thing is also here I am having concentrated hydrochloric acid. I am opening it, taking my glass rod. This is the glass rod, this is a solid rod. Introducing this glass rod into the conch HCl and putting this on the mouth of test tube. And you can see some white fumes. You can see white fumes are evolving. These white fumes are of ammonium chloride, because ammonium chloride is a sublimate compound. So definitely the gas which is producing here in the test tube, this is ammonia gas, and these white fumes are of ammonium chloride. So all these tests represent that in this test there is a gas evolving, and this gas is ammonia gas. But still now we cannot say exactly that this gas is ammonia. Basically this experiment is a very strong evidence for proving that this gas is ammonia, because this is the concentrated HCl. When ammonia gas react with concentrated HCl, it produces white fume. Indeed, it's a very strong evidence, but we need one more evidence to check whether this gas is ammonia or not. So for that test we need Nessler's reagent. So here is the bottle of Nessler reagent. I am opening it and introducing a small amount of Nessler's reagent into the test tube. So here with me, this is the Nessler's reagent into the test tube. I have taken a small amount of Nessler's reagent into the test tube. So if you see this solution is very transparent. But if you see the shade, it's little yellowish. It's not exactly white in color. It's transparent, it's like as water, but little yellowish, tarnished shape is there. So I am keeping this Nessler's reagent safe over here for using my test. Now I am taking my new test tube. There is a new test tube. Always remember, as I told you, whatever test tube you take, its brim is totally intact. If brim is break or crack is there on the brim, so in that condition all the gas will evaporate. You cannot transfer that gas into the another test tube. So I am holding this test tube with my test tube holder. So my test tube is holded. This is empty test tube, and now I am going to take again a small amount of salt. Now you were amazing. You were asking, why, sir, you are taking this salt again? Because in this test tube, in which we have taken ammonium salt before, in this test tube, gas were formed, and whatever the amount of gas, maximum amount of the gas was evolved because of heating. So that's why for the test with the Nessler's reagent, it's always advisable you take a new sample of salt. Now in this new sample, I am going to mix sodium hydroxide. So as I told you, at initial state, at cold stage, no any reaction takes place. Now here with me is my passing tube. So I am fixing this passing tube. This is a gas passing tube. In short, we say it's passing tube. So now I fix this passing tube on the test tube. So on this test tube, in this test tube, I have taken ammonium salt, sodium hydroxide, and I fix gas passing tube over here. Now here, this test tube is ready with the Nessler's reagent. Now I hold this test tube also with the test tube holder. So both the test tube are ready, and always advisable that you hold the test tube with the test tube holder for the safety measurements. So both the test tubes are ready. In this test tube I have taken Nessler's reagent. Here is the test tube, and here we have ammonium salt along with sodium hydroxide. So I dipped one end of this gas passing tube into the Nessler's reagent, and I am heating the substance. So as I am heating, you just see what will happen. Gas is producing, gas is going into the test tube in which Nessler's reagent is there. Bubbling is taking place. You can see small bubbling is taking place, and slowly as the gas is producing more, this Nessler's reagent color turns darker, and at the end its color turns into brown. So I am introducing this thing, and now you can see the color of Nessler's reagent turns from transparent to brown. This shade is brown because of the camera resolution. Maybe it seems just like as orange, but it is not orange, it is brown in color. So you can see Nessler's reagent turns brown. So this brown color indicate the gas is ammonia gas. So many question comes from this topic, from this experiment. First of all, which type of salt produce ammonia gas? So correct answer is the ammonium salt, the salt in which ammonium radical is present, they produce ammonia gas. So basically in the laboratory preparation of ammonia, we take ammonium chloride and calcium hydroxide. So you can take any ammonium salt for this test. So all ammonium salt produce ammonia gas. Now second question comes, when ammonia gas react with litmus paper or pH paper, what will happen? So as you have already seen here, when ammonia gas react with litmus paper or pH paper, it turns the color of the paper blue. Whether it is pH paper or whether it is litmus paper, this gas is basic in nature. That's why this gas turns the color of the litmus paper and pH paper blue. And another question also asks, what will happen when ammonia gas come in contact with conc HCl? So when ammonia gas come in contact with conc HCl, concentrated HCl, it produces a substance called ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. And ammonium chloride is a sublimate compound which we see in the form of dense white film, as you have already seen in the experiment. And the last question that is very important, and many times it been asked in the exam, and what's that question? What will happen when ammonia gas reacts with Nessler's reagent? The correct answer is brown color is produced, as you have already seen in the experiment. So hope students you like this video and you learn many things with the help of this video. I already shooted this video in Hindi language. So if you want to see this video in the Hindi language, you can go there and you can check that video also. Except that we have prepared many videos for you, all the experimental videos. So you can click on this I button and there you can get directly link to that videos. You can go to the videos, you can check the description also, and you can subscribe my channel also for all my videos. So hope that you like all these videos, and future I want your love and support as well. Thank you very much for watching this.